serve. And all I'm saying to you is, what we're going to do in our zone offense is we're going to do break down and do drills of what's good for us. And that kind of changes from year to year because we have different guys with different strengths and can do different things. And what we want to do with our zone offense is I want to give them all those principles, that we talked about. We want to be able to dribble pull. We want to understand ball reversal. We want to understand catching in a post and where to look and how to pass the basketball. We want to understand box overloads. We want to understand triangle overloads. We want to understand how to do those things. But year in and year out, the same thing's not always good. And we've got to adjust and we've got to change. And so to come down and say, zone offense, we're going to come down, we're going to enter the ball to either wing, really doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, maybe one time we ought to dribble, pull, distort the zone, step a guy out here. Maybe sometimes we ought to step out here and screen against the zone. I mean, why can't we screen zones? I don't know why you can't screen zones. What are they going to do if you bring two guys out here this way and you step these two guys up here and you got a pretty good guy on the ball? What are these three guys back here going to do in a zone? What are they going to do when you step out here and you screen on the ball and you hang up this guy right here and you dribble right here, and now you occupy this guy? Who's guarding this guy? And if this guy runs out and guards him, who's guarding that guy if he rolls? And if that guy dives down in there, who's guarding this guy who steps into here? Why? Because we distorted them. So you want them to play man-to-man. That's what you want them to do. You want to make zones play man-to-man so you can do something to create two-on-one situations so you're playing two offense against one defense. That's basketball. That's man offense, that's zone offense. Defensively, you want to get two defensive guys as close to one guy as you can. And you want to be able to guard. So what you do initially in zone offense, I think, is really important. I mean, I think, and to be honest with you, I did this series of books because I really felt like I was starting to get kind of stagnant. We were doing the same things, and I wanted to look at film, and I wanted to figure out some things that work, and I wanted to be able to remember them, and I wrote them all down, and I figured as long as everybody calls and wants it for nothing, I might as well sell them. But I started to think about, why do we do what we do zone offense? I did that a long time ago defensively. And now why do we do what we do offensively? What do we want to accomplish? We want to distort the zone. Well, if you want to distort the zone, I said to my dad, we started doing this when I was at Walsh College, and I said, what do you think of that? He said, I don't like it. I said, why don't you like it? He said, because I think you get a shot too fast. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not real bright at that time. I'm thinking, well, that's kind of what we want to do, is get a shot. He said, you get a shot too fast, you can't rebound it. So if you get a shot too fast, you don't have time to distort them and get them out of position to where you can get more than one. And if you think about it, when do you have your best shooting percentages? When you have great rebounding games, basically. Because if you shoot it and miss it and rebound it and score, that's 50%. That's a hell of a night. That's a great night shooting the ball. And if you come down initially and you take shots that you can't rebound, or you put people in position where they have no chance to rebound it after you shot it, it's not very good zone offense. So we started doing this. And he said he didn't like it. Well, then I start thinking, well, maybe what we ought to do is we ought to figure out how to distort them a little bit, and we ought to figure out how we can still get guys to where we want to get them, which is if it's shot from here over here, and if it's shot from here over here. And you look at that, as to how they're playing and what their coverage is going to be. It's like this. How many of you spend time teaching your post guys to seal and teaching your post guys who to seal when? Think about this. Playing 1-2-2. And probably in most 1-2-2s, if you can make this guy guard here, this guy comes out here and guards. And who guards this area? they bring this guy across. So it would stand to reason to me that if you've got a post guy in this area and that guy runs out, he ought to turn, find this guy, and seal this guy, not let that guy come to him, but turn, find him, and seal. I think that makes sense. If they're playing 3-2, and when this guy goes out, this guy right here dives down there, then your post guy ought to know, don't run over and seal this guy because this guy isn't moving. Step up and seal this guy right here. That's the guy you got to seal. But do we do that? And that's what I'm saying to you. Distort people. You want to dissect the defense, and you want to take your offense, and you want to work on what they're going to counter what they do defensively. And I guess what I'm saying to you is it's not good enough to have a zone offense. I mean, you got to have offenses. It's like you do different things. You know, we ran motion, and we were in a conference with Louisville, and they switch every cross. And so all of our screens and stuff. So we got to learn how to split screens. We got to learn how to screen a screener. We got to learn things to make them so they can't switch that fast, and where they've got to be very honest with us and come and close that, or so we don't split them and go. And if we don't do that and we don't have that a part of our offense, they're going to destroy us. It's the same thing in the zone. If guys think, and guys don't know, they don't know. They don't know who to seal. Tell them, go seal that guy across, they're running to seal that guy every time. Well, it may not be coming from there. Might be a totally different deal. Who do you seal? When do you seal them? Why do you seal them? Where's the ball entered? What do you want to accomplish? How quick you want to get the shot? See, with us, we got the clock now. So we can't do the things that we used to do. I'll tell you something else that's changed. What else has changed? People say the game hasn't changed. People don't understand, don't really study the game. When they put this line out there, they changed the game. They really changed the game. They changed the game offensively. They changed the game defensively. Because now, think about it, and it's important you understand defense, understand offense. You can't help and recover in line anymore. Because if you try to help and recover in line, they penetrate, they pitch. That used to be, if it's a 39% shot, it was a bad shot, and you were happy with that. Now if they penetrate and pitch and the guy hits 39, you get beat because it's 3 instead of 2. Well, you have to understand that philosophy offensively, and you got to understand now what are the defenses trying to do, and how do I counteract that? When I penetrate and pitch against the zone, what do I want to penetrate and pitch to accomplish? What do I want to do? And now what we're going to try to do, am I done, Bob? What we're going to try to do now is we're going to try to put our guys in positions that we can take these things that we talked about, that we can take these positions that we talked about, and work them, and put them in positions where our guys can be the most successful. And then we have, I don't know, we have a series of things that we're going to do from entries to sets to options that our guys can run that are going to change from how they're going to play us. They're going to change. And we go through that with our guys so that our guys try to have an understanding of what we're trying to do. And we've got, I don't know how many we've got. We've got probably I don't know, 10 or 12 kind of sets to run against different defenses, 10 or 12 sets to run that are going to put our best shooter in a position where he can get a shot. They're going to isolate our best post guy against, let me give you an example. We'll step our best post guy to there. And we'll enter the ball here to a guy who's not our best shooter. We want our best shooter away from the ball. And we'll kind of kick the thing down there to collapse the defense, because we really want to collapse the defense. And we'll run this guy through, dive this guy from high to low. So this guy's diving down in here looking so that they've got to step up and guard him. And stepping up and guarding him, or if it's a guard, maybe taking him down. Now we want to run our shooter into here. Now we're playing, we've got a triangle going right there. Well, that's probably not where we want the shot or even where we can get the shot. Now we've got our point guy trying to catch the ball really as close to the middle of the floor as he possibly can so we can catch it here, dribble it hard right here. Now we're going to take this guy and we're going to bust him into here to occupy their middle guy. This guy who came through, we're going to try to spot him up. We're going to dribble it right here like this. And what we want to do with this guy is step him right back out there. Against the flow of the defense, step the ball back out right there. Now this guy who has passed the ball, he's going to come in right here, and now he's going to turn and seal right in there. So now we've got our best shooter with our best post player, and we've got them isolated on that side of the floor where they have to run a guy out to guard that guy. Certainly they've got to stop the ball, and they've got to put a guy in this position to stop this guy coming into here. And what we've done effectively is taken their help out of there. Taking their help out of there where they're going to be one-on-one with our best player here, one-on-one with our best post player right there. And if this guy screws up and there's nobody there, they're going to run this guy all the way out of here to run at our three-point guy and open it up there. And we've got like 10 or 12 of those that are just going to put our best players in a position to attack them. And you know, we run it, let's say they got a guy in foul trouble and we want to work on a guy. Well, we want to distort them to the point where we can get our guy working on this guy right here. And if this is the guy that's in foul trouble right here, probably what we want to do is drive the thing hard here, make this guy step out and take a shooter and throw the ball right in there where we can work on that guy who's in foul trouble. And people go zones to keep guys out of foul. The guy's getting foul trouble, now you want to go zone, keep him out of foul trouble. Well, that shouldn't, you still should work on him. Still should work on him. But you've got to have educated movement to move guys out of position so that you can work on them. Does that make sense? Any questions? I'm like over time on this, right?
Okay.
Questions?
Thank you very much for this presentation. We appreciate it.